On this morning's Health Watch, the perks of coffee. Turns out your daily cup of joe could actually help reduce your risk of getting certain diseases. Here to discuss the benefits is Dr. Arivalagan. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, you know, forever it seems like we kept hearing, you shouldn't drink too much coffee. This is bad, this is bad. What are some of the benefits, or at least theoretical benefits, that they were listed in this new study?
The new studies are showing that it actually may be protective against developing type 2 diabetes, may be protective in heart disease, certain cancers, may prevent cavities. The list goes on.
That is just amazing to me. What property in coffee would possibly get that kind of results?
We're not sure exactly what it is. Probably there's some sort of antioxidant properties in the coffee. It's shown in both decaf and regular coffee, so it may not necessarily be the caffeine, but the antioxidants can actually decrease inflammation and some cell damage, so you don't have to feel guilty grabbing that cup of joe in the morning.
These studies are always so interesting because one of them, they found that 6 cups per day lowered the risk of advanced prostate cancer. I don't know how you get a control group for that or how that works in terms of but what is that? I mean, 6 cups is like a crazy amount of coffee.
That's a lot of coffee, and I think that the key really is moderation. So I wouldn't go chugging coffee all day long to decrease your risk of cancer, because there are some side effects, obviously, from drinking coffee. So I think if you like the coffee, drink it, you can feel okay about it, but I wouldn't advocate, you know, a constant infusion of coffee.
And there are certain people with certain pre-existing conditions, we should say, who should absolutely limit their coffee.
Exactly, and that's a good point, Harry. First of all, if you already have diabetes, you want to limit the amount of coffee you have. So before we talked about preventing diabetes, if you actually have it, don't slug it all day long. If you're pregnant, you really want to limit it to 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day. And if you have sleep problems, obviously, you know, don't drink coffee all day long.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me write that down. I better stop having a cup at 10 o'clock at night. Dr. Levine, as always, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
On this morning's Health Watch, coffee and strokes. A recent study found the more cups of coffee you drink, the less likely you are to suffer a stroke. Here with more details is our own Dr. Jennifer Ashton. Good morning.
Good morning, Julie.
All right, tell me more about the study and who funded this study.
Right, so put another one in the win column for the health benefits of coffee. This was a study funded actually by the NIH, done out of UCLA Stroke Center, reputable, and actually looked at 20,000 people, coffee drinkers, non-coffee drinkers, found that those who drank coffee had less stroke, and that stroke risk actually decreased the more coffee they drank. It was very interesting.
So how much coffee are we talking about?
Well, probably more than you and I have a day. They actually saw the largest benefit with those who consumed 6 or more cups a day. So we're talking a considerable amount.
Does that mean I have to drink 6 cups a day to get the benefits of maybe not having a stroke?
Well, this is one of those things we have to take it really in conjunction with everything else. This is one potential benefit. And again, we know that there can be risks seen with the more caffeine that we consume. People are variably more sensitive or less sensitive to higher amounts of caffeine. So it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Do we know the why behind this?
You know, they're starting to look at it more. One of the theories is that there are antioxidants in coffee and tea, by the way, that may be protective, but it also may be that there's something in coffee or caffeine that works synergistically or in conjunction with other factors and therefore prevents stroke. So it's really evolving.
So does this study mean this applies to all caffeine? Like, let's say someone really likes Red Bull or tea or chocolate.
Exactly. Chocolate. I love that. Not known if it does have the same effects when you're talking about soda, chocolate, energy drinks. Right now, it's coffee and probably tea as well.
All right. You mentioned there are other risks. Tell me all the things that are currently that we know in the win column for having coffee.
Right. So the possible health, and then the others.
And then the others.
The possible benefits to caffeine or coffee consumption: decreased risk of Parkinson's, diabetes, helps control asthma, boosts our mood, and potentially improves athletic performance. All of those things are in the win column. In the risky column, certain people can be more sensitive to the effects of caffeine. So pregnant women, anyone with a heart condition, it can increase our blood pressure in the short term and increase our heart rate. So we really want to use it with caution. I am going to have my cup today and meet you for a coffee break afterwards.
All right. Dr. Jennifer Ashton, thanks so much.
You bet, Julie.
Good morning. In today's Health Watch, the buzz on coffee. If you're sitting down with a cup of coffee right now, this news could make your day. According to a new study, drinking just 2 cups a day is linked with a lower risk of depression. Researchers surveyed 50,000 women about their coffee consumption and use of antidepressants. Overall, the more coffee they drank, the less likely they were to be depressed. And that's not the only good news. New research shows coffee may also reduce your risk of diabetes in some studies by as much as 50%. The condition affects 26 million Americans. 79 million more have prediabetes, putting them at risk. But researchers found ingredients in coffee appear to block a chemical process that leads to the disease. And it's not just depression and diabetes. Coffee has also been linked with lower risks of Parkinson's disease, reduced inflammation, and modest protection against some cancers. While there are people who should avoid caffeine entirely, in most cases, that daily cup of joe is just fine. I'm Dr. Holly Phillips.